What's cracking YouTube? Neck Punch here. Hey, happy 2023. Hope you all have had a great holiday season. Hope you've checked out the holiday video on Dead Bed Spread's channel with our holiday fakemon. That was a lot of fun. I am back. I got a new avatar that finally sort of somewhat matches the fact that most of my hair is gone, although my hair grows faster than my drawing ability, so yeah, it is what it is. And at the moment we're knocking around with a flamingo because I caught one the other day and I asked my wife, what is a good nickname for a boxing glove flamingo? And she said, Neck Punch. Hey, something that all fakemon artists have to square with at some point is the experience of coming up with an idea, executing that idea, and then finding out that later in a later generation, Game Freak has had the same idea or a similar idea and then executed it, but slightly differently. That's something that's happened to me several times, and sometimes I think Game Freak does it better. But sometimes I really like my ideas better, and so I thought that today, to begin 2023, we'd kick off with a friendly game of who did it better. So I'm going to bring up a few different concepts that I've had over the years, show you my design, most of them you'll have seen before, and I'll show you Game Freak's official Pokemon that takes on the same idea, and I want you to let me know in the comments who you think did it better. Which idea do you prefer? Which design do you prefer? Of course, be kind, be polite, but be honest. If Game Freak clean sweeps me, that's fine. I do think some of them are better than mine, and it's impossible for me to look at this objectively. So I'm curious what everybody says. Let's begin with the concept of a fire lion. I'll admit, this is not the most original idea. I had this idea back in the 90s when I was about 10, 11 years old, and it literally was just me thinking, okay, Ponyta and Rapidash are horses, but the hair is replaced with fire. What other animals have long hair that could be replaced with fire? And I came up with this Pokemon, Blazane. I didn't draw this back in the 90s. This is a few years ago I drew this. Earlier I drew the sprite, and then more recently I took a crack at official style artwork. Of course, in Gen 6, Game Freak gave us Pyroar. Now they decided not to go with a mane literally made of fire, but instead it just looks like fire, and it's based on the Daimonji Japanese festival Gozan no Okuribi. A large bonfire is lit in the shape of the character, well, I don't know, meaning big or great. It's the same thing Fire Blast is based on. That's what I was just reading. I know that Pyroar's mane is it's designed to emulate that fire festival, or that festival where they light a big bonfire. So look, more thought went into Pyroar's design than went into my design, but I just want the mane to be fire. So for this one, my personal preference is Blazane, but let me know in the comments who gets the point in your opinion. Round 2, we're going to look at the concept of a bug and water spider. Now, I talked about this in one of the 50 days of Fakemon. There are two different kinds of spiders that are commonly referred to as the water spider. One is the giant water spider, and the other is the diving bell spider. So back before we had any bug water types except for Surskit, I really wanted a fully evolved bug water type, and I went with the giant water spider, and I designed this Pokemon called Spearder. A couple of generations later, Game Freak decided to go with the other water spider, and they designed this diving bell spider called Araquanid, which I love. Two bug water types. Two bug water type spiders based on water spiders that are different water spiders. Which one do you like better? I don't know, I really struggle to pick a favorite, because one of them I'm very proud of and the other one I just love. Which one's better? It's impossible for me to say. It's I feel like it's cheating if I make it a draw, so I'm gonna go with Spearder. For round 3, let's head to Gen 9 for a little bit, because I'm kind of doing these off the top of my head, so there's not necessarily an order. And it's the idea of a chili Pokemon. It's an idea that a lot of people have had. A grass fire type that's based on a chili or a pepper, depending on where in the world you live. My idea that I had a long time ago was Peppercorn, a little chili-based leprechaun. He's got a little chili hat, chili beard, kind of looks a little bit more like a gnome than a leprechaun, but Game Freak in Gen 9 gave us Capsicid and Scovillain. So instead of a leprechaun, it's a kappa, and it becomes, I don't know, Scovillain kind of loses the kappa aspect, and I don't know, is there some other magical creature that it's based on, other than like it's got the two-head thing? And let me know, which one do you think is better? In my opinion, I gotta give Game Freak that credit on this one. Scovillain is so cool. I've heard people say it kind of looks like it's missing something, or maybe it needs to evolve again, and I do see that. I do see it. But I also think there's a lot about this Pokemon to love. I like that it's got the two heads. I like the little touch that the green head breathes fire and the red head does the grass moves. I like that one head is smiling and one head is frowning, and it looks kind of like those drama masks. There's just more to it, and I think it's a really cool idea. Plus the previous form, Capsicid, Capsicum, Kappa. I've seen a lot of different chili Pokemon. I haven't seen anyone do it as a Kappa, so I think this was cool. I think the name Peppercorn is amazing, but when I really think about it, peppercorns don't come from chilies, they come from a different plant entirely, so I don't know if that undermines it or whatever. I still want Peppercorn to be a Pokemon, but I think I gotta give Game Freak the point on this one. Up next, we got the concept of Pokemon based on electric guitars. So I went literal with a tremolo. It's a guitar with guitars for arms. It's not actually a guitar. It's kind of meant to be like a creature that looks like guitars. Its hands look like guitars. Its legs look and body looks like it's made of a guitar. And this was an idea for a Sonic Electric type. Obviously, my game introduces the Sonic type, which is a type that I'll be explaining in more detail in my next video. Game Freak gave us Toxtricity. Without introducing any new types, just went with more of the punk rock aspect, made it kind of lizardy, and it's poison electric, and it's got two forms, and instead of having actual strings, it's more of an animal that plays guitar by pulling strings on its own body, or not strings, I don't know what they're meant to be, these disgusting fleshy growths that make guitar-like sounds. Toxtricity is one of my favorite Pokemon, and has been ever since I first laid eyes on it. Let me know which design you like better, but it's no secret that I think Game Freak knocked it out of the park with this one, so I gotta give them credit. Toxtricity is amazing. I really like Tremolo. I really do wish that we had the Sonic type, but that's a conversation for another day, I think. I gotta give them this one. In a similar vein, I also had the idea way back for a Sonic type Drum Gorilla. This is Concussion. It's actually one of the pseudo-legendaries in the Kotean region. Was originally going to be a Sonic fighting type, decided to change it to a Sonic steel type, and it's got the drum on the belly. I know Gorilla's kind of the stereotype of gorillas beating their chests, but there's a move called belly drum, so I thought it'd be cool to kind of put the drum on the belly. It's got tom-tom arms, it's got symbols on its back, it evolves from a chimpanzee with symbol hands, and Game Freak went with Rillaboom, which is a grass type and grows the drum out of the ground. It's made of wood, it's got sticks, and there's that whole thing. Here's another tricky one, because I think making the drum grow out of the ground and not be part of the Pokemon is a little bit cheating, but at the same time, I really like Rillaboom's design, just like as a gorilla Pokemon. I know the fact that it doesn't beat its own body angers some people, and it should anger me more, because I had the idea of it beating its own body, but I think I prefer Rillaboom. I gotta redesign Concussion to look better. It just needs, I don't know, I gotta work on my gorilla drawing before I can give myself the point on this one, I think. But let me know which one you prefer. And finally, we're going to look at the idea of a dolphin Pokemon. A lot of people have wanted a dolphin Pokemon for a long time, and Generation 9 finally delivered. I was not one of those people. I don't really see what all the fuss is about when it comes to dolphins. You can tell me that they're cute, but a lot of animals are cute. Big deal. So my dolphin Pokemon kind of took the concept of a bottlenose literally. It's based on an overprotective parent, somebody who will, if you so much as slightly look at their kid funny. And so it's a broken bottlenose dolphin, and it's ready to cut you. Game Freak went with a superhero. Kind of complete opposite direction. Very, very cute. And kind of this unique dynamic where its evolution isn't really an evolution until it ducks into the phone booth of your party to change and then come out swinging. Let me know which concept you like better. Which direction was better? Did you like the broken bottlenose, overprotective parent, or do you prefer the superhero? And which design do you think looks better? I prefer Dolphensive to Palafin. I think this superhero thing, it's a cool idea, but I find it annoying to use, and I think this design is kind of disgusting to look at. I thought my design was disgusting to look at. This thing is horrendous, but that's just me. This whole thing is it's very subjective. I think I gave myself more points than I gave Game Freak. I actually wasn't counting, but you can let me know. But it's really not important. I should like my own designs, right? Otherwise, what am I doing? I'd love to know how I measured up against Game Freak, in your opinion. And let me know if this has ever happened to you. You've had the idea for a Pokemon, you've drawn something, you've come up with something, and then in a later generation, Game Freak's done the same kind of idea, but they've done it different. Does it make you angry? Do you feel like, yes, this is cool, because now the thing that I wanted is actually in the game, just a slightly different version? Or does it infuriate you as though Game Freak did your idea, but worse? I'd love to know what your experiences have been, and I will see you all in the next one. That's it from me. But now, thanks for checking out this video. Till next time, my name is Neck Punch. Have a good one.